So the whole scorpion incident kind of startled my niece a little bit, and I try when it comes to things like, you know, snakes and spiders and scorpions. I try and teach her to be respectful of those things, but I never try to instill fear in her because I don't want her to grow up terrified of things. I don't want her to grow up with phobias of, animals and things like that. And it got me thinking about the things that used to scare me when I was little. Like, when I was younger and we grew up on, 15 acres, there were no, lights that you could see from neighbors anywhere. And if you were outside, pretty much no one would hear you if you were yelling out for help. And our house had a lot of windows on it. So I was very afraid of the dark. And I'm not anymore, but I really don't know why. To this day, I'm still terrified of heights. Well, I'm not terrified of heights. I'm afraid of falling from heights. Even though I'd like to go skydiving sometime, but in my mind, you go skydiving, you're falling, but you've got a parachute on you, and if you do a tandem jump, you've got another person strapped to your back. So you've got, two people working in your favor of keeping you from pancaking into the ground. But it just got me wondering about, the whole idea of fear. And, where do our fears come from? And, for me, getting over being afraid of the dark, it just kind of came with age. But for a lot of people, it's a more difficult process than that. And I'm just curious, I'm wanting to put out the question for, you guys. What are some things that you're afraid of? Or what are some things that you used to be afraid of that you're not afraid of anymore, that you've overcome? And, if you have some of those, how did you overcome those fears? Or the fears that you still have, how do you deal with those fears? What do you do to, keep yourself from dealing with those? Or what steps are you taking to try and overcome them? So just post your comments, saying, what kind of things scare you, or what used to scare you that doesn't anymore, and how did you get over that? Or what are you doing to try and battle with fears that you still fight with today? Because I think that's an important step that we have to take as people. I think fear is one of the most driving emotions to our behaviors and our actions as a species. And I think that's a crucial step in the growing process to understand our fears and how to confront them and deal with them. Because at the end of the day, the only thing really keeping us from doing anything in this life that we have is our fears. So I just think that it's important to address that. So what are you guys afraid of?